We are back. What's up, everybody? Film nerds are here. Myself, Jared Wackerly, and welcomed with Garrett Price, Dynasty Price, and Nick Whalen. What's up, guys?
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good.
Good.
What's up, Nick?
Hey man, are you gonna ever change up the pink to like a different color?
No, I need to, dude. I don't like it anymore.
You know, you were so pumped when you had
It
it.
was supposed to be red. It's not supposed to be
What
pink,
you
but
gonna say?
I just didn't know. I mean, I'm just curious. You got a lot of cool memorabilia there. You show
yeah,
off.
I got my high school jersey on the ground. You can't really see it, but yeah, guys, we're looking at Max Borghi tonight from Washington State and Najee Harris from Alabama. Two stylistically different running backs, but two guys that are very highly regarded in the 2021 running or draft class, I should say, in the consensus rankings from the Devy mock drafts and stuff that I've done. So yeah, I'm excited to take a look. What do you guys think?
Well, there's one guy that from watching tape, because I thought Najee was coming out, so I'd already watched a decent amount of tape on him. And going back through and watching more for this, I'm really excited to get into his tape, show some of the clips that I looked up and hear your guys' opinions. But I do really like Najee quite a bit. He's a very, very talented football player. Max Borghi so far, and we've been on the streams where my mind has been changed before, so we will see how this goes. But coming into this, I'm not quite sold yet, so we'll see if you guys are able to sell me on Borghi or where you guys are at on him.
Right. I always like to kind of save it for the show, but I'll say this much: I was in a Devy draft, only one round. It's my most important league. I had the last pick. And Max Borghi was still available, and I decided to take Bijan Robinson in front of him. So that tells you
the freshman.
Yeah. So that's way more of a lotto ticket. So that shows you how much I feel of Max Borghi. But excited to see what you guys say. I have my clips, and the best part about this is we watched this film ahead of time. We kind of outlined that last week, and I have the games that I watched. But I don't know what Garrett watched. So Jared's actually the only one that puts it all together. He can be like, "Wow, these are all great clips of Max Borghi," and then Garrett has like all negative ones. Like we don't even know. So it could be kind of fun.
No, I mean we do know. We know you put in all the negative clips, so we do kind of know.
I'm realistic, man. Realistic.
Yeah, I'm interested to see who your Rams comp is for this guy.
Yeah, right. You got a bunch of guys in here already. Let's go.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? What's up, AJ, Sean, Andrew, Nick? The usual guys in here. We appreciate you. And we have another Garrett in here. It looks like Garrett Buckmaster.
Ooh, my new favorite person in the chat.
And what up, Brandon? My initial thoughts on Borghi is I think he's going way too early in Devy drafts. I was just in a Devy Watch industry mock draft with a lot of other analysts, and someone took Borghi before Najee Harris, and I couldn't believe it. So I guess we'll kind of evaluate that decision tonight. And we'll start off with Borghi here. So let's get into it. I think.
Can we review something real quick? Because I don't remember how we had it. We've done ETN and Chuba already, right? Is that it for running backs?
Correct.
Okay, we all had it ETN and Chuba, right?
Correct, in that order. I believe so. Did you, Jared? I know you're close on them.
Hold on, it froze here.
You were talking about how good it was.
I know
doing tonight.
it wasn't.
You jinxed it.
I know it wasn't freezing. So I missed your question. What was that?
So
Nick?
who did you have ranked higher, either ETN or Chuba?
I had ETN higher.
Okay, all right. So I guess going after today, we'll rank all four then, because we already have ETN over Chuba, but we'll see if either of these guys jump Chuba. So
yeah, for sure. All right, starting off here, we got Washington State versus Stanford, and something different tonight is we're going to have all 22 tape for every single cut-up.
Ooh, it's awesome.
All right, so whose game is this?
This is mine. I gotta let it play out. Sorry, guys.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, so Borghi catches a swing pass here. He's known as, a pass catching back, satellite back. You see him catch a swing pass here, shows good hands, and then he makes the first guy miss, which I like. But he's a little off balance, and it's not something I've noticed with watching him. His footwork tends to be a little. He pitter patters too much, has to break down a little too much for my liking, or he's not very sudden in his movements. And you can kind of see it here in the spin move, even though he does make the guy miss. It's just kind of, it's not smooth, in my opinion. You guys have any thoughts on that play?
Well, especially, he's man coverage against a backer. I mean, he should make him miss easily.
Right.
And, and then instead, he, like you said, he's off balance. And then he can't make the second guy miss. That's one thing that I found, too. I found him inefficient with his footwork when trying to make someone miss.
And I'm personally not a big fan of the spin move just in general. And we see you kind of lose your reference point going downfield. So there are players that can do it and get away with it, but I think it's a far fewer amount than try to do it.
Well, one of the main reasons that I've been taught, and I teach, Garrett, I don't know if you're different with it, I don't like the spin move from the simple fact of there could be more fumbles because you don't know where that other collision is going to come from, and they could pop the ball free versus trying to juke or sidestep or stiff arm.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. That wasn't even part of our rationale for it. For us, it was more, we're always trying to set up the next play downfield. You spin, you lose your reference of where all the other players are at, where they're coming from. It's much harder to make another play off of a spin move typically, especially if there's defenders close by.
So this play here, I'll let it play from this angle, but the angle from behind is much better. The angle for the box. I think he misses the hole here in the B gap. He should have hit it here on the left side of the guard right there. I mean, this lane right here is wide open. He hits that, he probably gets 10 yards. Instead, he decides to bounce it to the outside, and he gets taken down for a 2-yard gain. So you'd like to see him just be able to just hit it up in there, show a little better patience and vision.
I'll give him this. I mean, it's the right tackle's fault. He should have picked up 90. It's a frontside A play. As you can see, they're double teaming up. That's wide open, but this guy crashes. He doesn't get it. So, yeah, I'm with you. That's how it happens.
I think he gets spooked. Yeah.
And you go. So he should have fit it right up in there. That makes no sense.
What is Max? What's his full name again?
Oh, yeah, you were saying it beforehand.
Yeah.
It's like
Massimilio?
Yeah,
Massimiliano,
something like that.
No disrespect.
Massimiliano.
I got it here. So Max Borghi's real name is Massimiliano Borghi. Yeah. So interesting little tidbit there that I did not know before tonight. Wonder what nationality that is.
Sounds Italian, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it
sounds Italian.
Sounds Italian. Let it run. Dang it. So he bounces this play to the outside. It's just a zone play. So that's where he finds the opening. And I guess on this play, I just kind of wanted to show his speed, his overall speed in the open field. Obviously, he gets a big gain on this, but he's not overly fast. He's not super fast, super explosive. But he's got good enough speed, in my opinion.
Can you play it from the first angle for me again, Jared?
Yeah.
And Jared, I do agree with you. I don't think he's super fast. I will say he's bursty, though. I did see some good acceleration at times, but I think you're right. The top end speed isn't going to be with guys like Chuba and ETN.
I mean, you can see 18 here. 18 comes down to fill the alley and then still has the angle to come back on him.
Mm-hmm.
So 18's in the middle of the field here.
Yeah.
Now he shouldn't get there.
No.
So not really like a home run threat by any means, but we do have some home run cuts later in the film as we go here.
So I always say, I mean, that would be quicker than fast, right, Garrett? Is that how you see that then?
Exactly.
Bursty.
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 So nice catch here, swing route.
Must be a gusher.
They caught him. I think it's a good play call here. Looks like they catch him in man-to-man. He's matched up with this backer. They kind of run a pick, and he's able to beat him to the edge, the corner. They don't really detect it in time, and just shows, like Garrett said, good burst, good playmaking ability to get the ball over the pylon.
Catch, too.
For 6. Yeah, good catch, good hands. So I looked up some stats. I saw on expandtheboxscore.com that he was targeted 88 times and caught 81 of them. So 91% catch rate. So you know this guy can catch the ball. And that's the one skill set that I think you really, with him, that's the skill set you need to put your hat on.
Phil asks if this is the Big 12. This is the Pac-12, Pac-14, whatever they really are now. But no, not the Big 12.
Whatever the West Coast is.
Pac-12.
Well, they're so big now.
They are. Well, most 14, of them are. The Big 10 is the same way.
Yeah, that's true.
Is the Big 12 even 12? I honestly don't know.
I don't know either.
I'd have to go and count.
Good run here. Presses the right side of the center's hip here and kind of attracts that safety down. So he presses, watch, you'll see. Presses the right side of the guard's hip, So he tracks 18 down that way to set up his cut back here. He gets good yards.
I just don't like the way he moves. Watch how many
it's inefficient
steps he needs to take to move.
To juke, yeah.
I agree.
It's like an extra step every time.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that on a couple plays in some of my games. I didn't want to knock him on it too much for it because there were most of the times where I saw that there were a lot of defenders there, and so it was understandable. But yes, you're very right. There's a lot of steps where you see a guy like Swift, where dead leg and go.
Yep.
He doesn't do that.
And I don't know if that's a hip thing, if that's an ankle, strength thing, or if that's a balance thing,
Yeah.
Because some guys can always run under balance, and some guys are like out of control running all the time.
I will say I do have one of my plays where he had excellent balance. No, that could have been a one-off deal. But yeah.
I'm sorry.
Does anybody have his measurables?
He's 5'10", 195.
5'10", 195. Okay. So in real life, that probably means 5'9", 188. They usually give him an inch and 7 to 10 pounds.
Yeah.
So
I thought he did a nice job of just reading the line here and getting positive yards, getting upfield. But obviously he's just not an inside runner. He's not a big guy. If for fantasy production, that's why we're all watching this, right? Fantasy production. He's a PPR back. That's what he is. So I'm seeing him go in early in Devy drafts, like first round, and I'd much rather bet on the upside of like some 2022 prospects, some 2023 freshmen, stuff like that.
Robinson?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. I just don't see a ton of upside with this guy. I think he's a day 3 NFL draft pick.
Yeah, you might be right. I could see him being a 3rd round pick for a team that's looking for that receiving back. I think he fits a role very nicely in the NFL, but I'm just not sure if he has the skill set to be like the guy that we would want out of a 1st, 2nd, 3rd round Devy pick. I think that's the tricky part.
And what makes it more tricky too here, and Brandon asks, what NFL team do you guys think Borghi would be a great fit on? The tough part with that, Brandon, is it's more of a coordinator thing for me, and coaches move so much that he's so scheme dependent and weapon dependent. And we've seen the Cordell Pattersons not be used correctly. And we've seen, Alvin Kamara's used correctly, that it's so tough to say, hey, put him here and he'll be great. To me, it's too big of a risk that way.
Who was the last Washington State running back to be successful?
That sounds like a Nick question right there.
Wow.
Who you got, Nick?
Didn't
Going
Jerome
to the
Harrison go
catacombs.
there? Yeah, that's what they just said, Jerome Harrison. And he wasn't really successful.
Yeah, he had that one game,
In the
man,
Browns,
that late
yeah.
season.
Wasn't their guy right before him? Wasn't that James Booby Williams?
Yeah, but nothing.
Yeah, he didn't even get drafted.
But I mean, they have a similar skill set.
I'm just thinking of
Exactly.
like Washington State players like Ryan Leaf was there. That team, Washington had some backs over the years, but man,
Yeah, I don't know.
Is their best running back Gardner Minshew?
Garrett, this is your play, so while that goes, I'm gonna look
All
at
right.
top Washington State.
So I want to give him some credit on this play. I'll let the replay run through as well.
I don't know any of these running backs, by the way. So,
all right. So I want to give him some credit on this play because this was in the fourth quarter.
what angle do you want?
A few minutes. This angle is the best one. A few minutes left in the game, and he makes a big play. Now, with that said, he does a nice job, catches the ball with his hands, makes a guy miss. However, this is really, really poor tackling and poor angles by the defense. So it's not like he made some incredible plays, but I do want to give credit where credit is due. In crunch time, and this was a prime time game, he made a big play at the end of the game when it counted. So I do want to give him credit for that. But for as big of a play as it was, I don't think he necessarily did anything special on this play, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the best thing about this play is right here, this juke move.
Yep, that juke move is a very nice cut. Poor tackling on this guy's part. Utilize that sideline as your friend there.
It's just like we're all talking about though. Like, watch how many steps it takes him to break down on here. It's like
he cuts off his inside foot,
two,
but then
three.
cuts right there on his inside. That makes you fall a lot. My favorite part about this play is the next defender, because he doesn't just race to the sideline; he fakes inside.
Runs right
that
at
little hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
That could be big. So that's my favorite part of it there.
All right, we can move to the next one. But yeah, I thought it was good to see him make plays when it counted most for his team.
By the way, I just Googled Washington State's leading rushers like in history.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I know. I did the same thing. I was like, I don't know. Man.
So Nick, a little bit ago when I was talking about balance, this was the play that I was talking about right here. And I'll let this one run through because it's a little bit easier to see from this angle. Does a nice job, good angle to the outside, and he's pretty much dead to rights there, but he's able to keep his feet, gets another 7-8 yards there by spinning out of that tackle. And like I said, he likes to spin. It's not my favorite move in the world, but there he did a great job of being able to keep his balance, keep his feet, and get upfield for more. I would have liked for him to have had a little bit better feel on that where the defenders were behind him, but still an excellent run. Good vision there to see the outside lane as well. So I did want to give him credit for that.
Let me be nitpicky here.
Oh man,
now, I'm with you that it can be something, but like the tackle attempt here is real bad. I mean, the corner grabs him by his waist. The other two guys basically don't even touch him. The one guy like gives him a shoulder with no wrap at all. Another guy
it's terrible tackling.
It's
all of these. The Pac-12 is not good defense, and UCLA is the epitome of bad defense.
Yeah,
this was a 60-something point game.
I mean, I guess I'm just saying, like, at least he didn't let himself be tackled, but really the guys wrapped him on the waist and spun him, and then he just kept running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean a lot of guys would go down right there.
That was basically the same thing Rondell Moore did against Ohio State last week when we were watching.
Right.
We gave Rondell Moore a lot of credit for that. So we got to do, even though we don't like Borghi as much, we got to give him the same.
No, I agree. I think that's a good play. I think it shows good balance. And we kind of talked about it a little bit before the stream is like, I think he breaks a little more tackles than I anticipated he would when breaking him down.
He has a very good mentality. I think he mentally plays bigger than he actually is, but we'll see some times where it still just doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, we mentioned Jerome Harrison with the Cleveland Browns. We got two Browns fans, and Garrett and I here. Trust me, we remember Jerome Harrison.
I remember drafting him in a bunch of leagues, and then Peyton Hillis ended up being the guy the next year.
Dude, Peyton Hillis for that year was amazing to watch.
It was so fun.
Madden cover and everything.
The other thing there is he said, does Mike Leach leaving hurt his draft stock?
I think
I'm going to say yes and no. It gives him the opportunity to prove to us as a runner. Let's say he bulks up 15 pounds and he becomes this runner between the tackles. Then all of a sudden it improves his draft stock, even if he does get 20 receptions this year.
He actually even tweeted that out. He's like, when Mike Leach left, he was like, wait, now that means I get to run the ball?
Yeah, Paust asked the same thing, like our thoughts on the outlook with Rolovich instead of Mike Leach. And honestly, I'm not too familiar with Rolovich's system to really comment on that with any real insight on it. But as Paust said here, Hawaii's top 3 running backs combined for 11 receptions in 2019. So that's something to think about for sure. So he probably is going to run the ball more, like you guys just said.
This one, go ahead and run this one at full speed. This was one of the ones that I thought he looked pretty bursty on. He saw this hole, which was actually pretty good vision to be able to see it to the right-hand side there. Because it wasn't a straight ahead. He kind of had to angle there. So he saw the outside lane, and he had a little bit of burst. That's where I saw some of the acceleration on this to be able to beat 94 to that spot. 94 kind of tripped and fell on his face. But, this is where I saw some of that acceleration that I was talking about earlier, where I thought he had a little bit of burst. He might not have the long straight line speed. He's probably a low 4.5s guy if I had to guess. But I think he has good acceleration in short area.
Yeah. So, I mean, pretty big hole here.
Go ahead, Jared. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I mean, there's certain areas there where he could have cut that up inside, but we know what he loves. He loves going to the outside, and he did, and it was okay. He was nimble enough to make it all work.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely good burst here on this play.
All right, so now to some of my negatives. We're going to see a couple plays in a row where he really gets stone lined at the goal line. And that's one of my worries is he big enough? Does he have enough strength? He plays bigger than he is. And so I do want to give him credit for that, but I'm just not sure it matters at times. He needs to add a good 10 to 15 pounds in order for there to be any real shot at him having a role in the NFL outside of a satellite type of back, in my opinion. And so we see it on this play. And then, Jared, you can roll to the next one because it's more or less the exact same thing where he just doesn't have the girth behind him to be able to make it happen.
I don't think that's even the issue for me. Can you go back to the first one?
Yeah.
To me, it's if you're small, man, you just got to find a little sliver and get through there. And this one here.
And go back to the box view.
Yep. To me, I think he's trying to take on the whole defender. Man, take on half the defender and you might get in.
Yep.
So like he bounces out and now he decides just to take this guy on. It's like he closes his eyes and like, I'm going to run this guy over. That's not your game, bro.
Yep.
You know?
And I think that's his mentality where he's trying to be more of I'm a power guy. Like I'm strong too. And I just don't think that's there.
But like you see Kamara. Kamara is great because of his balance and his like flexibility is like ridiculous. But he'll like bounce off of guys because he's only taking on half of them. He's not taking on the whole guy.
ETN does that a lot too. A slightly smaller back.
Yeah. Obviously terrible blocks on this play.
For sure. He doesn't get a lot of help.
39 just throwing his shoulder into this guy instead of running his feet or anything. And yeah.
That's a hell of a play by two though.
Yeah, it is.
That is. But that's a defender there too. That's falling down. You should be able to run through a defender that doesn't have any feet there. You should be able to run through that on the goal line.
Or stop. Let him fall and then right where
sure.
he was in your
game. Use your elusiveness. Yep.
Andrew,
that's a little bit of a feel.
Andrew Schultz says his cuts are like wearing roller skates. That's a good
We might use that one.
All right, I think.
So a little bit of a scramble drill here, and
oh yeah, I remember why this one.
Yeah.
At first I was like, wait, why do we have this one? Now I know.
So
this was just silly on his part. Like he scramble drill, he catches the ball and he just gets lax with it and lets it get knocked out. Like, and this isn't a game where they're losing and this is their bowl game. Like if there's any time to make sure you're a satellite back, like your job is to catch the football. And he just kind of is lackadaisical about it and gets it punched out. Doesn't end up completing the catch.
Wow.
It's a big play.
Yeah, and that could have been a turning point for them because they were losing this game to Air Force.
Yeah.
Or attack, go towards the ball.
Tuck it.
Oh yeah, he just sat there and let it come to him.
Catch it, tuck it away.
Right. Turn your back. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was doing
We
there.
ain't celebrating yet. So I think moving on here, we got what's this, Oregon? Nick, I think we're getting into your cuts here.
Yeah, this is me. I don't take notes. I just put the plays down and then I'll see,
Oh yeah,
That's me
that's what I saw.
Yeah. Okay, so this at first glance you're going to watch this play, and there's just some impressive parts to it, right? So he strength, balance, stays in bounds, right? Gets some good plays or good yards there. But let me tell you what I don't like about this play. And you can stop it here. That's fine. Go back just a few seconds with Jared. Just to when he gets under balance after catching the ball.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a linebacker. That's 56, right? I mean, you should make him miss all day, okay? There's the sideline. Right now, if you look at leverage, right, he's way on the inside of this linebacker. And he decides, I'm going to make him miss and bounce to the outside, which is the least likely of scenarios. To me, he has such a tendency to always go outside. If he would fake outside and go inside, there's nobody there. He might score, he might cut it across the field, whatever. But I just think that, to me, this is a poor choice. Now, again, he made it work. But I just think that why go where there's a low probability of you breaking that tackle or getting pushed out of bounds?
Yeah. I mean, good job of breaking the tackle.
Yeah, good strength and good balance. But it's kind of a little bit of both for me. It's a little bit of a decision. I just didn't get the decision there. Because the defender didn't even believe any of the fake either.
Yeah. Phil, the measurables were, let's see, I think it was 5'10", 195.
So we said realistically that's 5'9", 187.
So you want the box view, Nick, or you want the sideline?
No, you can go back. We can kind of walk through both of it. So this is the play I wanted to highlight what we've kind of been talking about. So again, we got 56 again that he's going to make a miss, and you can see it from one angle. There's just too many steps to make this cut, even though it's successful.
Mm-hmm.
We are worried more about efficiency of movements. So I think he takes like 2 extra steps here. So it's like cut. So right there, he's deciding. And to me, like, look at the body language of the defender. He is turned completely sideways. This should be an easy, just a little dip and you're in. But it makes it harder on him because he has to take about 3 or 4 steps, and then the defender gets an arm on him.
Yeah, again, that's just reiterating our point from earlier. Is just slop. I mean, I think his feet are a little sloppy.
Mm-hmm. And the other part I thought it could be, Jared, is I don't know if it's he doesn't anticipate where he's going to make that cut. You know what I mean? If it's just reactionary, he sees this defender off the edge. He's just, now I have to cut back inside. Like when you go back,
he sees
can you go all the way
him here.
back, actually?
He sees him right here.
Yeah. Can you go all the way back to just the start of this play from this angle?
Yeah.
And stop it. There you go. If you want to count this other guy, there's 5 guys in the box. You already should know where that double team is going up to that backer, and you're like, okay, hey, this is going to be wide open in the middle of the field. So he should have already known he was going to go to the middle of the field. I'm not counting this Apex 56. He's kind of with the slot receiver.
Okay. Can you see my arrow?
Yeah, I see it, yeah.
Okay. I think it shows up on the stream too, actually.
By the way, when I say Apex, for people that don't know, so Apex is when you split the difference between the tackle and the slot receiver. So I wouldn't really count that as a box guy. But either way, the middle of the field was open. So he should have known that. Either way, it was kind of a negative for me. But
So, like, out of a satellite back, you kind of want to see more lateral quickness, right?
Yeah, this is the play I liked. I thought it was good, good read, good feel. You know, he's going to go there. Nope, not there. And just really efficient with how he bounced outside there and had that bursty that Garrett says.
Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys here. So, are you not counting these edge?
There I would, because they're not with the slots.
They're not splitting the receiver.
Yeah, and they're
You know what I mean? They're down. They're
both basically down. Yeah.
That's like a 5-1.
I would say that's a weird hybrid defense right there.
You want to watch some weird hybrid defenses? Have you ever watched Iowa State's defense?
Not really. Intently, no.
I was watching Will Greer 2 years ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is phenomenal defensive stuff. They have some really interesting ways that they beat RPOs and inside zone. So you play it from the other way too. To me, it was just here. I think he could have got some yardage. He wanted no part of any of this. This is a mentality to me. Like, dude, you got to run hard in there. But he's just like, no, I'll avoid this guy. I'll just kind of go down. You know, Not going to work. That's not what anyone's looking for. I understand you're probably not going to gain a ton here, but you're a running back. You're going to take some abuse, and you're going to run hard and get as much as you can.
Yeah. So, again, I mean, what is the – well, we can talk about it. We're almost done here through the film. We'll talk about it after.
Play?
I think so.
Yeah, I thought this was an unbelievable play.
Yeah, this is a great play. Great finish, too. Yep.
So, I mean, this is one where he did do well, where he won. I mean, that's just a reaction to see that edge guy that's unblocked to just jump cut out of that and then, finish through that other guy. I thought this is a great play by him.
Yep, twitchy. Good twitch. Looks like we got one more.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know what you're going to say.
You go for it. What am I going to say?
Just his feet again. Look how long it takes him to break down here.
Yeah, that, and again, he wants no part of this, any of this. He's just like, oh no, just like.
And it's interesting because as much as he loves to bounce it outside, after he cut back in there, he had a lane there to the outside.
Yep.
I'm very surprised he didn't bounce that back out once he got past 8 there, and 8 got blocked.
Right. Yeah, I saw
Very
that
interesting.
decision, overcut, and then like after he got in there, he's just like, I'm just gonna get like 2 yards and fall down. Like, and just because some of this is you just run hard and you ain't bounce off of guys and get yardage, So that one just didn't make a lot of positives for me. Even though it's a positive game, that's the thing. Like people don't get. We're looking at traits and things that you translate because they're gonna be bigger, faster, stronger. And if you don't want to run
exactly
a couple of Pac-12 guys, man, it's gonna be way different in the NFL.
So for me, as I'm looking, he looks similar to James White with slightly slower feet. Is kind of what I'm getting there.
James White's tougher for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good comp. Like I said earlier, I thought before the stream, I thought Ray had a decent comp with Rex Burkhead. I think not
Rex
as
Burkhead's
good.
A lot bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
Isn't he a converted fullback?
Right.
Was he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was a converted fullback.
He was Rutgers.
I thought he was Nebraska.
Oh no, he was. Who am I thinking? I'm thinking of Leonard. What's his name?
Who was your comp?
Was it Brian Leonard? Because he was the running back at Rutgers before Ray Rice. Then Ray Rice came in to fullback. Sorry, tangent.
But his ADP from what I've seen is first round Devy pick. So with that, you're expecting him to be a fantasy producer for your team once he gets to the NFL. And I don't know. I just don't see the upside. I just like these. It works in the Pac-12. I just don't think he's overly explosive, fast. He's not that quick. Can't really run inside and break that many tackles. Like, he's a good player. I just don't see.
I think he's decently quick.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think he needs.
I think he does have some burst to him. But overall, I agree with your sentiment there. Like, he's probably he's probably a round 3, round 4 guy at the NFL level, and he's going to fit a specific scheme. Now, he could still have some fantasy value, though, if it's an offense that utilizes the running backs in the passing game, because I do think he is very good overall at catching the football. I think he's got solid hands, and he can do a little bit after the catch. So I think there is a role for him. I just think I think he's being drafted too high.
Yeah.
I just can't see. It's tough for me to envision him getting a ton of touches. I mean, you want to. This is an issue I think in the entire industry that people think about. They think so many of these like small school backs are going to make it. You know how tough it is to be a running back and get a lot of touches in the NFL. There are round 1 guys, Rashad Penny, that are struggling to get touches. There are round 2 guys that struggle to get touches that have size and athletic ability and bigger, productivity in college than Max Borghi. I mean, to me, I don't know that he's ever going to get 200 touches in the season. And if he's never going to get 200 touches in the season, then he's like, what, maybe in the best case scenario, he's going to be a bye week or injury filler for me. I can't see him being in the top 2 rounds of a Devy right now. I don't know why I would take him.
Yeah. And I hate like sound like we're shitting on a guy. But I don't see why he's being drafted so high right now. And I think we're all kind of coming to that conclusion. So with that,
Moving right along.
Yeah, moving on to the main event, I'd like to say.
How about if you want like a comp of like somewhat closer, how about like Eno Benjamin? The guy that's not an unbelievable athlete, quicker than fast. I think Eno's a little tougher than him. Good hands. Kind of Eno Benjamin-ish, really.
I'm fine with that.
Someone said Patrick Laird, or do we see any Tevin Coleman in him?
No.
So, yeah, let's get to the main event, in my opinion at least. We got Najee Harris, somebody that we all thought that was probably going to be declaring for the 2020 draft. He didn't. He decided to stay in school. One of the top prospects coming out in the 2017 recruiting class, the top running back. Some recruiting websites had him as the number 1 overall prospect. He was the number 2 consensus 24/7 Sports composite prospect. So very highly regarded player. Yeah. And really showed out last year. You know, freshman year he was behind, or freshman and sophomore year he's behind
Harrison Jacobs.
Yeah, Harrison Jacobs. So last year he finally got to have the bell cow workload, and he showed out, in my opinion. I don't have the stats in front of me. I think it was like 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns, including the bowl game.
And that was just rushing. He had 7 through the air as well.
Yeah.
That's the craziest thing. When you look at a guy with this size, this type of physicality, with the hands that he has, that's the really intriguing part of all of this to me.
Yeah. So let's get into it. I'm not sure which one of us is up first here, so let's just roll the tape.
Surprise. Oh, it's me. Nice.
Cool. We got Auburn here. Hello. Already. This
All right, we'll let it play through from this angle.
Measurables on this guy real quick. 6'2", 230 pounds.
All right, so we have a 230-pound man, and quite a few things to watch here. Can you start? Yeah, right there. Perfect. So one, that's a huge hole. Great hole. He's going to get that all day from the Alabama offensive line. They had a very, very good offensive line. But it's what he does after finding the hole. Go ahead and keep running it. One, it does start to collapse a little bit. He gets skinny and gets lateral a little bit. Uses the stiff arm to get outside. Then the raw athleticism. Now, do I think this was an intelligent move to jump over this player? No, I do not. However, it shows me, one, dude is a freak athlete. Two, they're playing they're playing their main rival. You want to have different opportunities to get your sideline excited. Hurdling a guy, regardless of how dumb it is, gets your sideline excited. He's carrying the team on his back right now because despite having this amazing wide receiving core, Tua's out. So he's going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting. And this is an early play, early on in the game, get his team excited.
I love it, man.
Your guys' thoughts?
I just love the subtle movements here to shed this tackle here. And again, sidestep real quick. Then he gets right back on his path.
Pretty nimble for a big guy, for sure. I'm sorry. I went another way. You were talking about putting the team on his back. I thought about that Greg Jennings video.
What video is that?
So you weren't even here. You were.
Oh, the Madden
you were
video.
Out here.
Yeah, the Madden video.
Put his
the
team on
my back.
Back though. You gotta add the dough at
Broken
the
leg.
end.
Okay.
I love that video. It's a
It's
throwback,
amazing.
man.
That's amazing. Yeah. Man, good hands.
Yeah.
So once again, catching it away from his body. We'll let it play through this angle real quick as well. Sorry. Now, commented earlier, don't love the spin move, but look how quickly he gets his head back around to be able to look upfield, and he almost recovers here. I was actually surprised after, and it's a difference too between a guy that we saw earlier that's 5'10", maybe, probably more like 5'8", 5'9", and a guy that's 6'2", 6'3". It's tough to keep your legs when you're that big. For him to get that close to being able to recover that, and if he did, he's gone there. And there's a lot of burst there for a guy of his size. So I really, really like what I see out of Najee.
Let it run from the box. The overhead.
I like his timing on that.
Mm-hmm.
You want to look at backs that want to hurry and get out. He steps up, he's patient, waits, and then goes. He did not, he doesn't get ahead, doesn't tip off the play.
Yeah, he sold the block there.
I love the mindset. Like, keep fighting. Keep trying to get more yards, even if it's just a couple. You see that a lot with him.
Derek Brown, downfield. Boom.
Guy's a freak.
He is.
All right. So this was one of my negative plays. For a guy of that size, there was a lot of plays that I saw that he really did a great job of lowering the boom. He felt like he got tired on this play. So you have the pulling guard there, and he tries to split it, and we see Derek Brown there, number 5, in there, kind of in the way, and he just kind of lets it happen.
Yeah, I'd like to see him follow his blocker here on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he missed that lane.
I don't know if that's he saw the flow, the linebacker running the hump, maybe.
Yeah. Just thought him probably had a better chance to score with Devontae coming down, cracking down.
Could maybe come bouncing outside there.
I didn't see a lot of negative plays. This was one of the ones I was kind of like,
gotta fit one in, right? I feel you, man. Same thing for me.
Yep.
Bowling ball.
Oh, that's a great hole.
That was an excellent hole. You're absolutely right. But his timing of it to let it develop was what I like seeing there. Slight stutter step to make sure. Can you run it back from that? Yeah, right there. You see that slight stutter step to give time for his offensive lineman to come through for that lead block, and then that opened the hole. If he's charging ahead, which we see that out of a lot of running backs where they don't have the patience and the timing there. And actually, that was the tight end that pulled. But either way, the timing that he had to wait for that to develop, if he's going straight ahead, Raekwon Armstead, as much as I love the kid, had 0 timing last year. He only had 1 speed. I like seeing a big back that has a little bit of that patience, can vary his speed, and isn't just a bowling ball, plow, straight ahead guy, and then finishes with a little bit of strength at the end.
Well, you're right. One question I have here is does he get turned because of 35, or is he trying to back into the safety?
I think
It looked like he was already spinning before that. I don't know if he was trying another spin move. He does seem to like that spin move.
That's what I was trying to figure out. How does he finish this off? What are you doing?
Looked like he was bracing himself, and then he kind of got got pulled from the back. So real quick here, this is a common question out there. I see a lot of comments on it. Is Najee's age? He's currently 22 years old. Would have been one of the older backs already in the 2020 class. So next year when he gets drafted, he'll be 23. His birthday's in March. So he'll kind of be like a Keyshawn Vaughn in this year's class. Does that bother you guys? I think we should address that.
No, especially with, I only care about that first contract really anyway. Anything after that for me is gravy. So yeah, it doesn't really faze me too much.
What about you, Nick?
I just think that people look at the wrong things all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I care if the guy's a football player or not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what brand of shoes he wears or how he wears his hair. Like, who cares about these things? If he can't play football, I don't care if he's 12 or 40.
Yeah,
know?
I mean, guys, NFL franchises are drafting players that are going to help them their team right now. They're not. I mean, of course, they're looking ahead. How long will this asset help us? But they're not looking 7 years down the road when they're drafting a running back. So, I mean, I think people are digging too deep, thinking about it too much when they're trying to, factor in, how does a running back's age affect, dynasty production? Like, come on, man, you're making it too hard. Like,
and there's benefits to it too. Sorry, Jared. Like, a guy could be more mature, handling money and fame and family, asking for handouts if you are 22 or 23 versus when you're like 20. I think Cam Akers is 20 right now. 20 or 21, you're like, well, I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? You get more life experience. Like, there's positives on this too that people don't really think about.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear all three of us are on the same page with that because I wanted to bring it up because I do see it a lot. And I think, are we still on you, Garrett?
Yep, I'll just watch this through. I'm
Sorry.
not, just watch it.
I'll click happy.
Oh boy.
This is the play.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, once again, a guy this big catching the ball in the backfield and then knows what to do with it.
Hello.
Grown man strength. Hey, get off.
Get out of there.
Yeah, that guy's annoying.
Get your hand down, bro.
Nobody likes that guy.
Jesus.
He's number one.
And then he hurdles a defender and still has the balance to be able to continue on into the end zone. And this was a fairly tight game between South Carolina. They played them well despite not being a great football team. Great play on his part, total momentum shift. But like I said, if I have a guy that I truly believe can be a stud on the goal line and also be a legitimate PPR threat, that's a lot of fantasy points. And there's not a lot of backs with that type of combo. Even guys that we anticipate being 3-down backs in this last class, Swift, Dobbins, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, all of these guys are 210, 215. Like, they can do it, but they're not like these thumpers at the goal line. Najee Harris is a thumper at the goal line, but he is also a legitimate PPR threat. And I didn't get any of it, but there were several times in the passing game that I really liked his pass pro as well.
Yep. I agree, man. He's a solid running back prospect. I just wanted to point out the beautiful play call on this play. They catch him in man-to-man. You can tell by the corners here. They're looking at the receivers. They're squared up on them. Safeties are down. So they run these crossers. So they're trying to get everybody to kind of get mixed up here in the middle. Najee does a great job of avoiding the traffic here, avoiding his guys, and they kind of touch hands. I know that some coaches, they teach that so that they are running as close as possible together. And these defenders, they can't stick with everybody. He just gets wide open.
Well, okay, can you go back to?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can stop it kind of for where you were at. Now, this is designed for Najee. Because watch Jerry Jeudy at the top of the screen kind of run this route and kind of just block. Watch him right here. He's already blocking.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pivot and get in his way and keep getting in his way and keep – I mean –
For sure.
That's a design play for him. And you want to think about it, design going to your running back versus all those receivers that they have. That's a good sign.
Dude, picture number 8 in the film room the next day, man.
No, I don't want to.
Get off me, son.
He's got a family, Najee.
This kid. Oh, sorry.
Dude, his girlfriend. Come on.
This is
Not
a
happy about
play.
That posterized.
Yeah, what is
And
this
then what was
effort?
53 doing?
Yeah, what is 29 doing? Dive. Make a play. Man.
You know what that reminds me of, though? Remember when Saquon hurdled and then got hit and then nothing happened to him? It kind of reminds me a little bit of that.
Was that in the USC game?
I can't remember what game it was.
Dude, watch this guy change speeds, too. You know how, this guy was running. Watch him. He slows down right here. He thinks it's over. Oh, he could have saved the touchdown.
Oh, no one wanted to tackle him? I don't want to.
Never want to see a guy change speeds on defense on film.
No.
Because that means you weren't going 100% the whole time. Unpopular opinion. This is someone in the chat. I think he runs hard, and he reminds me of a little of Le'Veon Bell. Very patient runner, reads blocks well. I think he comes in and makes a difference right away. He shows soft hands and great balance in space as well.
Not bad. I mean, you could throw him. You could throw Steven Jackson out there. Kind of.
I think Steven Jackson's a very good comp.
Yeah, sometimes I get a little Garrett Blunt out of him too. I think people hate on Blunt. Blunt is a great back, man.
Well, this is going to sound.
I like that comp, Nick.
This isn't going to sound as good as I mean for it to, but I think he's a rich man's Alexander Madison. I think he does just about everything well. He runs with some reckless abandon.
Long hair.
And he's got good hands. So
yeah,
I'm telling you that numbers thing is a thing,
dude. It's so hard not to think that though.
I told you. Nothing on you, Garrett. Just saying, if people,
I like that comp, Garrett.
Oh, this guy's a comp of this guy. They have the same number.
It's easy to do. Well, and obviously everybody's gonna go to Derrick Henry because they played at Alabama as well.
Gary, I think this one's yours, right?
Yep, this is still me.
Great route for running back.
He's a running back, guys. He's a 230-pound running back. They're splitting him out at receiver. They're splitting him out. Runs a great comeback here. Now, if we were being super nitpicky, maybe a step too many, but
I think it's
a thing of beauty for a guy that big to be able to do something
to
like
get his
that.
shoulders to his knees like that, chin to his knees.
I mean, Jeffrey Nichols over here says Kamara. I don't mind that. He's got balance.
Stronger version.
Yeah, not an unbelievable athlete, but neither is Kamara. But
already, I mean, you have to be crazy to take Borghi over this guy, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Come on, I couldn't believe it.
That person's gonna watch this and hate you.
I don't care.
For sure.
Call them out. Put on their handle.
No, I'm not calling anybody out. But
put their cell number.
Hopefully they learn something.
Their family member.
It wasn't Kane, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Kane's smarter than that.
All right, I know he loves Borghi, so. All right,
So,
this one is not me.
This is me here. This is a better view of it. Good cutback. He sees the linebacker scraping here. Reads the backers well, I think. Sees this backside block coming. Cuts, gets it up in, plants his foot, gets up in there.
Really, really good comment down here. Mitch says, but Garrett, are either of tonight's backs as good as DJ Dallas?
Yes.
Look, we're not talking about Barry Sanders, Jim Brown, Adrian Peterson. So, of course, they're not as good as DJ Dallas.
By the way, boys, Steven Jackson, former Ram. Just saying.
So at this play, I thought he showed great vision. Obviously, the play is designed to go to the right, his right here. Sees the backside lane open up and hits it hard. I think 14 loses his gap. He comes all the way over here, and that's what opens us up.
That's really good vision.
Mm-hmm. Now, Nick, nitpick here. Should have broke that tackle, right?
Oh, wait,
Absolutely.
Of course he should. It's a DB.
Yeah, I thought he should have thrown a stiff arm, but of course the ball
Dude
was
looks
in
like
the
a
wrong
kicker.
hand.
But I think what he's doing here, I think he's trying to get his feet up so he doesn't get caught in traffic there from, was it 67, that D lineman falling down?
Yeah.
I guess he probably won't have as much.
Dude, that little 29 he made some plays. I was watching this game. I was like, I like this. I like this little guy. He's always in the picture. His hat's always around the ball.
You just compliment a Michigan player?
I don't care. I call it how it is.
Good.
They still won't beat Ohio State.
Who are we watching next week? Next week, we are going to be having Josh Johnson from ULM. He will be on the show. It'll be a similar format to what we did with DJ Dallas when he came on the show. Running back that I really like.
Can't wait.
I think he's a little bit of a sleeper. Jared and I are big fans of his. I think he could be a early day 3, maybe even late day 2 guy. So we'll see.
Did you get the tape from him yet?
I haven't yet. I'm still waiting to hear it.
Okay.
Or see it.
Cool. Yeah, so I thought, he did a nice job of picking up in pass pro here. Of course, he gets driven back a little bit, but he does his job. You want to see him hold his ground a little more, but obviously he knows who his man is. He picks him up in the appropriate spot. You'd like to see him hold his ground, like I said, but good job here, I think. You guys have anything to add on that?
Can you stop when it goes to the next angle?
Yeah.
So you can see, if you go back just a slight here, he's reading inside backer to backer. So he's going from 7. If 7 doesn't come, then he looks immediately to 44. You can watch his eyes.
Yep.
That's just good knowing that, hey, that's who he has.
That's probably some of experience and age, Good
It's
coaching.
actually man. Watch 7 follow him over there. That's funny, his man coverage.
Again, another pass pro. Pickup. Again, gets driven back a little too much here, for my opinion. But picks up his man. Does his job.
That's jeez, dude.
Yeah.
That's a negative for me.
No, I put this play in actually as a negative because I thought he got driven back too far. But
yeah, he collapsed that pocket.
But a positive and a negative because
the form wasn't bad. There just wasn't any punch there. He waited for him and he took the brunt of that.
Well, the guy had a running start too, about 10 years.
For sure.
Yeah. See his head's down, not punching. 6'2", 230, you want to see him delivering.
Mm-hmm.
Drop that ass.
Drop that ass, bitch. Sorry.
That's how it is, man. You got to drop it, get your leverage, and then extend it up.
Punch your mic.
Nick got excited.
Dude, man, I love football.
He said, I love football.
I love football. Nice, man.
Go
Drop
sports.
that ass.
And coaching.
Let the play run, Jared. Jeez.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, let's see here. I think I had this as a negative. So, I think if he sticks with it here, the hole's inside. Right off 74's butt.
You're right.
Except for he decides to bounce it. And I think he would have got more yards if he gets north and south.
But how about that backer? Is that back? No, D lineman here. Who's on the inside? You know what I mean? Right there.
Yeah, but if he gets skinny through the hole where it's designed to hit
I'll say
on
right off of
60's butt,
60, yeah.
like I don't think he's getting him. But again, on a negative side, good jump cut here. See, his footwork's much better. It's 1-2. It's 1-2 cut. 1, 2.
He weighs 35 more pounds. He's 4 inches taller, and he cuts better. That doesn't make any sense. Whatever.
He's a big man.
Mm-hmm.
Big boy. All right, so this is
man.
fourth quarter, just under 4 minutes. Alabama's up 10, and they're just giving the ball to Najee this whole drive. It ends up in a touchdown, but these next two plays are just Najee saying, "Give me the ball.
Okay.
We're gonna win
From
this
a
game."
defensive perspective, what are they doing? Like, the last thing you do on a guy of his size is try to tackle him by his shoulders. Like, come on.
I just love how he delivers this. He sees
Yeah.
this and he goes into him. That's next level for me.
Leg
When you see
drive.
that.
But even 29 there, he's like,
His feet are always moving. But he carries them for, I think, let's see, where does contact first made? Right here at about the 46-yard line. It's 10, about 15 yards carries contact. Oh, that's embarrassing, man.
Good for them though. This was a bowl game, so they didn't have to watch tape on this one.
But I love seeing this stuff because it's like mindset, man. He's always driving his legs. He's always fighting, kind of like that clip that Garrett showed earlier. Like he was just fighting for 2 extra yards on that screen. He doesn't mind contact. Again, here, this is the next play. You are not bringing me down. We are holding on to the ball, or we're scoring, and we're winning this game.
Bro, he's like, this isn't right. I shouldn't even say this, but we talked about the Alvin Kamara comp there. It's like if Alvin Kamara had a baby with Mike Olstad. Like, my goodness.
Now,
And this is Michigan. Michigan was not a bad
Hold on.
defense.
Hold on. Negative. Go back. Okay, watch. Tristan Wirfs hold him up. Watch it. He's 74, right? Watch him right here. Gets in there, pushes.
What a good teammate. Look at that
I'm
guy.
just saying.
Hey, it's smart.
Just
Hey,
saying.
he's a Cleveland Brown now,
Hey.
so I'll accept it.
He's driving those legs, man. That's what happens when you keep
Not a
your
negative.
feet
I'm
moving.
just saying it can't all be Najee Love when
You're talking about Jedrick Wills, though, right?
What's up,
Oh, yeah,
Andy?
sorry.
Yeah. Good offensive lineman in the draft. I get you.
Who
I
then
don't-
dives over the pile to get another guy. I love that.
This
stuff.
is the play to
Watch him
finish.
here.
This is the play to finish this drive.
Good cut.
Yeah.
Oh, a couple of hesitations.
I'm sorry, not to finish the drive because he ends up scoring. But just another nice run on this drive to put this game away. Hits him with a little hezzy. Right here. He's evaluating.
6.
Yeah. See 6
Look at that
here.
move, and it does 6 it.
Yep.
6 didn't even
Does-
touch him.
Does the same thing to 7. For a guy that's 6'2", 230, he's quick. He's good.
Do you guys
think
even want to get to my film at this
The
point?
only thing
We don't
holding
even need to.
his like ultimate upside back is his top end speed. He's just not. He's not that fast.
Yep. And I have a play to highlight that too.
Yeah, I think this is on to you, Nick. Here.
Yep.
Yeah, and I love that drive was versus Michigan,
Oh, for sure.
pissing down their leg.
You can play from the other ankle too.
Yeah, I know. I noticed your 3 times you gave me were all from this angle.
And this is what I love about football, man.
All 22. You're welcome.
Yeah, it was great. So I mean, this is the design hole, but you can just see him. Hey, that's not going to work. He is the reaction of this guy's unblocked, basically in his face, and he cuts inside of him. I think it's balance. I think that's vision. You can see 1987 misses the block. Nope, and he cuts right inside of it.
He's always under control. It seems.
Yeah, I mean, right there, he should be dead,
Mm-hmm.
and he makes it work, and he fights here. I thought that was a great play.
Gets pad level down for a big guy, and again, watch the leg drive. He's a good football player.
This one was a negative. I think he missed this one because he had 1 or 2 pullers here, and he should have cut inside the block, and he decided just to go outside. I'm not sure why. So
Yeah, it was a
you
poor
can see
read.
from this one if you want to go slow on if you can or not, but that's inside.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. Just 87 here, the second one. So 74. I'm sorry, there. 65 goes. That's good. Then 87 locks on, and then he should cut right between those two. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, he's got a little inside, but
yeah,
I don't know if it's enough to say no. Either way, he's kind of dead when he goes out here.
Ooh.
You can play this through. There's a couple of positives on this one that I like.
Good move.
Okay, one's the route. 2, then it's scramble drill, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to keep following where my quarterback's at." And then 3, he finishes.
Yeah.
So, go back to the route here. This is a Texas route. So he fakes outside. It's kind of an angle inside. There he settles. He's like, "Oh, no one's in this area." And then I'm getting in there.
I will say his size did come into play there at the end. You could tell he had a hard time making that turn, and I think that's why he stumbled.
Oh, yeah, I think so too. Well, I also think he's like, "Wow, I'm wide open." There's
Expecting some contact there.
Yeah, there's no one around him the whole play.
Yeah.
I mean, right there, and then it's like,
yeah,
okay, wide open. Oh,
he's got that stutter step down.
Mm-hmm.
Shows up in the route here. Natural hands too. Watch him catch plucks it with his hands. Love seeing that. Good finish. Into the end zone. Nice little toss here for 2 on the run.
He's so good. This is just, I like his patience here. He's not running full speed. He's letting his blocks happen, and then he's going to assess where he should go. Okay, yep, good one. And then, like, my favorite part of this play, if you can go slow here from this angle, is when he cuts inside of this safety, which is a great move, by the way, for a big guy. He simultaneously stiff arms the next guy inside. Watch this, if you can slow it down. It's insane. Like, how does he see 2 guys at the same time? Watch him cut inside. And then, stiff arm you. Like, what? That's like.
Yeah,
he
that's a
just
great
knows
play.
There's going to be guys on the inside, so I should just stiff arm. I mean,
No, that was nice.
That's a good play.
I'll let it run here one more time.
Let her run.
You said,
let her run.
Was that an attempt at Frozen there?
No.
I think it was.
So this is positive and negative for me. I think this is good vision to see the hole on the outside, and then right here you're going to see his lack of burst and speed. He should be gone.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have it.
A lot of people comp him to Derrick Henry.
No.
But yeah, no, I don't agree with the comp. It's an easy comp. Alabama running backs, long hair, bigger guys. Derrick Henry had that speed.
Derrick Henry's gone on that play.
Yeah. Adam, appreciate it. He said, love the work. Keep it up. Thanks for the effort. Looks like Asino13 has a question here. Unrelated, but who you guys taking at 211 in a 1 QB league? 210 is still on the clock. We'll get to that one after the tape here, since it's kind of unrelated to the prospect.
I already have my answer. You already know my answer on that one.
I would say we're 2 for 2 on that.
Yeah, he's got Van Jefferson on the board there.
You good to move to the next one here?
Yeah, that's fine. Yep. This is just blitz pickup. While he got off balance, I love how he recognized that from the other edge, got his hands out there, and he got, and then he still tried when he made a counter move.
And Phillips is quick too. Phillips is a quick linebacker.
I thought that was a pretty good pickup.
Yeah, I think there's been a few clips that we've shown in Pass Pro that he's known who his man was, which is half the battle.
And then the other part is effort. And at least he put some effort in here. You had him run over a little bit there, but he knows where to go. He tries.
Yeah.
Oh, One thing I love about this play is watch Tua wait till the last second to throw his check down. Oh, he just gets drilled and throws it on time.
Yeah, he does wait.
He takes so much abuse.
His
But he
delivery
knows-
is so quick there.
Oh, dude, Tua's.
I don't know how he got that off. Such a quick, short,
And on the
compact
money,
delivery.
too.
And on the money, he's so crazy. But what I like is Najee catches this and
Makes that
the
guy miss.
initially. Like, boom.
Quick little subtle move. He's quick. Quick.
And then
We keep saying it. I mean, this is LSU. This isn't the Pac-12.
and then technically he makes one miss and then 5 cleans him up. But I mean, you make 2 guys miss. It's
He got 6. Plays for the
6 cleans him
for
up.
the Browns now, right? Right, Garrett?
I thought 9 was Phillips, but maybe it's 6.
I think you're right. Well, great. I mean, Najee Harris is a good football player.
So, Nick, you brought it up in the beginning. We got to rank him now. We watched 4 guys. We've watched ETN, Chuba Hubbard, Najee, and Max Borghi. Where do these 2 rank in those 4?
For me, it is ETN, Najee, Chuba, gap, space, enter, wait, Max Borghi.
Jared.
I agree. That's how I have it too. ETN, Najee, Chuba, then Borghi.
I have the same order, and I agree with the gap there that Nick had. I actually also think there is a slight gap, very tiny gap between ETN and Najee, or with ETN and Najee, and then Chuba. I
Yeah.
think Chuba is in a slightly different tier than those 2.
Well, I have
Below.
ET in his own tier though, and then I have
Okay, so you have
those-
ETN. I think I have Najee and ETN in the same tier. I have ETN higher, but I think I have them in the same tier.
I think
No,
ETN
not-
just gives you that higher ceiling because of the explosiveness and top end speed and ability to hit a home run at any minute.
I agree at that point, but I think Najee is much better in the receiving game, which I think is going
Yeah.
to close the gap in those points.
I agree
for
with
fantasy
you.
Football.
One thing I want to say is this, and this is why we do this. Coming out of high school, I was not a Najee Harris fan. I can't remember where I had him ranked, but he wasn't up high for me. And after his freshman year, I was like, okay, he had a couple of runs, but I'm just not a big fan. But this last year, and watching more of him and doing this too, he changed my mind, and that's tough because I think sometimes people let bias just overwhelm it. Like, no matter what, I'm going to be a Max Borghi fan or whoever, But I think you need to, whenever there's a data point, you need to let it affect your decision because you want the best fantasy team or the best rankings. I mean, that should be your purpose. It shouldn't be that you're right. It should be that you're correct. And
Right.
so I've been pleasantly surprised with how Najee has developed his game and become a better back in my mind. Or I was wrong. But either way, I'm okay admitting I'm wrong because he's improved.
It's so hard to tell coming out of high school, but I think that's significantly more difficult to judge a kid from high school to college and college to pros. Like it's such a different game. The competition is completely different. So I think there's a lot of room for guys to change, develop, and think about the coaching. I mean, I know some of these schools have some top end high school coaches, but the facilities that they're working with at the college level, like Alabama, Ohio, like these big schools, their facilities are incredible. They have multiple position coaches. They have all of this individualized attention. Like there's so much opportunity for them to grow and develop in these major programs than from where they're at in high school. So it's easy to see a guy change quite a bit.
And their bodies change. I mean, Todd Gurley gained like 30 pounds. Like
Saquon Barkley did too.
Yeah.
So
and he knocked to like 0.3 off of his 40.
That's crazy.
At least it was 2, I think.
So back to Asino's question. Let's see here. Who you guys taking at 211 in 1 QB league? 210 is still on the clock, but guys like Gibson, Van Jefferson, Hamler, Claypool are still on the board. Yeah, that one's pretty easy for me too. I know who you're gonna say, Nick. Van Jefferson, right?
Yep. Well, we had mentioned this, but let me say this one. I had to just defend him on Twitter because someone said he was the worst pick of the second round. McVay has already said he's a veteran route runner, and that team is in salary cap issues bad. We know this. Cooper Kupp's a free agent after next year. 2 years from then, Robert Woods is a free agent. Their team is not going to be good. I think they're the last place team in that division this year. They're going to have to throw. And I think Van Jefferson being a better route runner could have an impact this year, but most likely a way bigger impact in 2021. He's my top pick there. I think people are sleeping on him because of he transferred and he was behind maybe some guys you've heard of before in DK Metcalf and AJ Brown. I'm not sure if you guys have heard them before. They're okay at football. That's why he didn't play or do awesome at Ole Miss. He's had over like 450 yards both years there. And then he led Florida in receiving yards the last 2 years. I know it's not amazing, but Florida's passing game isn't amazing either. So, like, what do you want from the guy? He's done it when he's had the chance.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely agree. Real quick side note, especially because we know how much you love the Rams. I was going through the other day, and Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp are 1 year apart. Robert Woods is 1 year older than Cooper Kupp. And I think the perception is like young player versus old player. And they're 1 year apart. That was incredible to me. That just made me – I have a lot of Robert Woods shares, but it just made me want him even more.
Let's see. Do we have any more questions here? Looks like we do. What would you try to add to Borghi to get up to a Najee or Hubbard? Have you tried offering Borghi straight up? Because some people value Borghi more than Najee, and they haven't watched this yet. So rush to your league,
Sure.
Make the offer, and start the conversation. I mean, you wouldn't really want to add much to that, just based on, consensus valuations right now. A lot of people have him pretty close by. Maybe
Right.
a depleted rookie pick that's maybe in the third round, second round, something
I'll
like
say
that.
this much. I would do whatever I could to get that done.
Yeah.
Because I, as you could tell from this, we're not thrilled about Borghi, but I don't think it's going to be a great year next year. So I would bail now instead of later.
And I see both Najee and Chuba's value staying pretty much the same going into the draft next year, barring injury.
It will be interesting, though, because we've seen 2 years in a row where a running back that was a relatively unknown, nobody was talking about, ended up being the first running back off the board in the NFL draft. We had that with Josh Jacobs 2 years ago. We had that with Clyde Edwards-Helaire this past year. So, it seems like a pretty lock-solid big three right now, but it wouldn't be shocking at all to see another name or two pop into that conversation.
I could see Trey Sermon being, just based on if he gets the volume at Ohio State, he's going to put up numbers. I could see him working in that conversation, but he's very risky. He's a boom bust type of player.
Read option with Fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll put up numbers for sure. I don't know that he's as talented as those guys, but the numbers should be there. You're right.
Before we finish up, what are you guys working on? What's going on?
For me, it's basically same as it's been. Still doing the Dynasty Nerds podcast. I put out a solo special Nerd Herd edition of the Dynasty Nerds podcast for some late round sleeper guys that I'd be willing to target in rookie drafts. So that's a quick 15-minute listen there. If you want to, find some guys that could potentially be gems, and I break down why I think they could be late round gems in that podcast as well. But other than that, just this and the Dynasty Nerds pod, and then all the stuff on Twitter at Dynasty Price.
Yeah, for me, it's overseeing the Devy team that we have at Dynasty Nerds right now. We're pushing out the freshman profiles, and we're really we're going to focus more on campus to Canton leagues because it seems to be getting a lot of interest, and there's not a lot out there. So these freshman profiles would definitely help you out in that and kind of give you a head start into looking into this 2023 class. And the writers have gone really, really in depth. There's about 5 or 6 GIFs or more in each article. Gives you some background information. You know what system and stuff they're going into, if they have a chance to play or not, stuff like that. So they're really good. Highly recommend you guys check those out. And we'll be having more YouTube content coming out, helping a lot with those, editing them up and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for those. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, definitely do that. Yeah, now that we have access to a lot of this All-22 film too, I'm going to be definitely getting into these quarterbacks a little more, and talking about Keaton Slavis, Sam Howell, where those guys should be ranked, Jaden Daniels, and Trey Lance, those kind of guys. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, that film's going to make it more exciting. I am hoping on Friday, so, maybe less than 2 days from now, to release my second of 3 publications. That one's going to be called Dynasty Startup. And it's been so much fun just to go through. It's basically how to find a league, and then what you need to do before you even get to your dynasty draft, what you need to do during your draft, and then after your draft, and like philosophy and trading, communicating with owners, so many tips and tricks, everything that I do, it's in there. It's going to be a lot. If you don't like doing a lot of work for your dynasty startups, don't get it. But if you want to win or be set up well, I would get it, because it's definitely going to improve your game. So I'm pretty pumped. So it's going to come out. And
dude, I can't wait for that, man. That's going to be good stuff. I'm going to learn from it. You've been doing this for so long. How long have you been breaking down like Devi players and drafting dynasty startups and stuff? Way longer than I have been doing it.
Yeah, I'd say, I think fantasy in total has been 20 years. And then my first Devi player was DeMarco Murray, so however long ago that was. Yeah, it's been fun, because it's trial and error, and it's nothing's ever going to be perfect, but you have to be prepared. And I think with anything in life, whatever it is, our jobs, this podcast, you always have to be prepared. And when you do all of the work, you're not nervous. That nervous feeling you have during a draft, you won't have it, because you're so prepared for everything. So
yeah, 100%. Well, guys, we appreciate you guys coming in, hanging out with us again, helping us watch this tape. Next week, you definitely want to check it out. We had DJ Dallas on before. It'll be similar to that, where we'll have a player on, and Josh Johnson, 2021 running back prospect from Louisiana Monroe. Under the radar guy, but he's going to be on the stream live with us, helping break down his tape and checking out his game. So I know Garrett showed me him first. He's really high on him. I like his game too. We're going to have to get Nick on board. So next week, Wednesday, we're always live Wednesday nights, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, Facebook Live. We're on all of them, so check us out. If you have not subscribed yet on the YouTube channel, do that. And if you are not a Nerd Herd member, make sure you do that, because we have a really, really cool tool coming out. I can't tell you about it yet, but being a Nerd Herd member is only $3 a month. And if you get that, you're going to have access to the tool for the first month it's live. And I'm telling you right now, it's a game changer. So
absolutely,
definitely check that out, dynastynerds.com. Till then, we'll see you guys next Wednesday. See ya.